How long has the miming and auto-tune been going on in music? You eventually see enough and you realize, like, the technology existed a long time before they ever showed it. And then you see other things and you're like, oh, we're in a world like that was created, so everything existed before, that is coming, existed before the world was created. So, and then those people run the Hollywood, the magical wood place. And, like, I don't know, maybe it helped to see that I can just, like, ask to see clones of people and they appear. And then, like, music appears according to, like, a few words I say. And, like a whole new CD appears, like talking about the man behind the mask and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, this is a new CD, ain't it? Like, that's odd because it's not talking to anyone else. And then like there's movies too that helps. Like it's like, wow, that's a blockbuster movie. Everyone's seen that, but like that just happened in my life right before I seen the movie. It's like it didn't exist until that happened or something, or someone's trying to convince me of that. But anyways, we have how long, how much the music is fake. I guess let's include it all. How much of the music is fake? How long's that been going on? Auto tuning, and it makes me realize, like when I see the other, like when I converse with clones, like they tell me about their families and their lives and their jobs, and like the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like, and I just like requested you to come see me, and you're leaving this part of the story out, how you had to pack your bags and get on the the teleportation dock up on the Star Trek Enterprise, right? You're leaving that part out. You're trying to fool me. You don't want me to know the whole truth or something. And so like I was already noticing, like, oh, people are lying. Like that's all they do. Like they spend like 6 years they spend half the year, 6 months of the year, worshiping giant bunnies and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Flying Reindeer, and like I'm this little toddler, and they're trying to talk to me about how like this is real, and I'm like, you know what, like you have to be way dumber than me because you think I believe anything you're saying. And lo and behold, put him to the test. And I mean, because I'm too dumb. In their mind, in the mind of a stupid person, like smart doesn't exist. So they're like, yeah, I'm just going to tell them this is $1 million bill and I'm going to give it to them for $7,000 only. And like, here's your $1 million bill. And you're like, it's the Santa bill. I love $1 million bills. It's so good. It's my microphone. I'm going to sing my lip sync music into it. But anyway, it's like I think the question goes beyond, the question does go far beyond how long have they been using auto tune and editing music in order to make people who probably can't even play music at all become stars. And hell, it boils down to like, how do the clones appear? How do how does music appear when I ask for it? Just magically appears out of nowhere. So there's at least some of this stuff is not even just being mined in auto tune. It's being randomly auto-generated by an AI system that is running Earth, or in fact could be the very basis of Earth is a software that is creating everything. But hey, the auto-tuning stuff, I'm sure that existed a long time ago. I mean, look at some of these people, and have they ever like stopped doing what they do? They've been issuing nude leaks of their Hollywood stars for decades, and they tell you the nude leaks out there because they're putting it out there to make has-beens relevant again. Okay, and it's like the same thing over and over with these people. Like nothing has been changing. The only thing that's changed is they changed the name radio to book, or play to book to radio to TV to internet. That's like the only thing that's ever changed. And each one has its vampire story and its alien story and its romance. The Titanic. Nothing's changed. They just changed a word here. And the religions, when have the religions changed it? You're worshiping the same people, atheists, Satanists, Christians, worshiping the same damn group. Scientists, worshiping the same damn group. Hell, the hospitals spit in their face and have the Baphomet sign in the Christian name, and it's an atheist scientific establishment. I mean, it's just like right there in your face that everything is all the same, and that's out there. And so that all that stuff, like the list goes on and on, how everything's exactly the same. That tells us then they have autotune today, they had autotune back then, right? I mean, I guess it takes more to see that, like, yeah, they're lying to you about the world, what it is, and the technology here. They're hiding it so they can profit and deceive people. That's why it's there. That's why they hide it. And be like, can you make a cell phone? No. It's because, first of all, they own the monopolies on that stuff, and they own the monopolies on the media. You're never going to sell a product you create unless you sell out to them. Or maybe you're just too ignorant to notice they exist, and they're just sure you're never going to mention they exist. And so all that stuff's been there for a long time. It's like I'm sure they've been using that for a long time. If you're a musician, like, hell, if you're a living being and you're a musician, you know it's not simple, even after a long time, to play like a perfect little playthrough with no little noise. No, they've been using noise reduction on albums for a long time. And that means they've been using noise reduction on vocals for a long time, okay? We can just assume that. And we can't go asking them anything because all they do is lie. Every word they've ever said. That's only truth we know, is that if they say something, it's probably a lie. That's the only truth we've known so far. That's the only bottom line truth anyone has ever come to, is if they say something, it's probably a lie. So we know they've been doing this because they've been using it now, and they've been doing the same thing over and over. I mean, they're unoriginal. They can't even come up. That's why I assume that they as well are part of the AI in the game, because they're a set program and they cannot move past their own ideas. They cannot invent new things and have new methods, and or they could invent like a TikTok that doesn't look suspicious, right? Like, that doesn't have their name on it, something that rhymes with their name on it. They wouldn't have a Chew running, Andrew Chew or whatever his name is, running TikTok. They would call him like Billy Bobgotsky or something less stupid, because if it's stupid, then you're like, oh, it's the stupid people. Okay, so like, I mean, if you know enough, if it's a stupid name, then they just generated it to like hide who they are, because they have a history of doing it. So let's look at everything else. They're doing the same thing over and over. They're always scamming people and deceiving people. That's like all they can do, pretty much. Like, that's where the power comes from. Tell you, let's tell them we're gods. We're an alien race enslaving the planet, but let's tell them we're gods and that they should worship us. And people are just like, oh yeah, and then they come and torture you if you don't worship them, and you're like, oh, it's God. And it's like, no, it's Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, it's Andrew Chew. It's Mark Zuckerberg, bro. They're not gods. They're demons. But anyways, yeah. So that's been going on. I assure you, the music has been fake for a long time. But let's bring some of these clones in for questioning, or the people who know about your private life, and then we'll have the answer to how the music is being auto-generated from my thoughts in my mind and stuff like that. Or at least we'll have people at least shaking enough to let you know they're hiding something.